everybody, listen up. Got an announcement to make. Joe Bucher and Chaz Martin are on their way over right now to film a video.
Sweet, really?
Cool.
What? Huh?
Yeah, you got a question?
Are they bringing that dude Elvis guy with them?
Did you eat a lot of paint chips as a kid?
Hey, Jay, my fingers hurt.
Well, now your back's going to hurt because you just pulled landscaping duty.
Hey, Jay, will they be talking about fishing?
That's a great question, Jim. I'm thinking yes. Next question?
Yeah, Jay, I've been wondering with all that's going on, has Joe been able to get his hair cut?
Another great question, John.
Will they bring any candy?
Tom, I don't know. That's a good question to ask him, though, when they get here. Okay, look alive, everybody. Let's get ready. They're coming in 5 minutes.
Well, my friends, it's just me. The dude could not make it today.
Oh, boy.
You know why he couldn't make it? He's running double guide parties. He's literally up at 5 a.m. and he's guiding till dark. And I get to see him once in a while at lunch. Actually, I filmed the show with him yesterday, and we're going to talk about what Chaz and I did yesterday to crack a couple of nice fish. And it's all about small.
Okay.
It's actually all about small, shallow, and keeping things really simple.
Mm-hmm.
And here's what we did. We're going small. So the lures we've been catching fish on are all of these smaller spinners. 2 fish caught yesterday, both on small spinners. Monday Night Musky League, same time while we were fishing. The fish that were caught, best fish caught last night, small lure. This exact lure.
We've been hearing that a lot.
Yes. This is. When in doubt, especially this time of the year, folks, we've talked about this so many times on our Musky 360 app, in articles, in my YouTube videos over the years, is when in doubt, this time of the year in the spring, go small. The other thing is go shallow, and sometimes shallower than you think you need to be. So being really shallow, one of the things I also look for when you're out on the water, beyond the lure. So let's just say, okay, we got a couple baits we're going to fish. We got a couple small lures we're going to fish shallow. In fact, I would add one more into that mix. It would be this. Okay, yeah, these are all day baits, but if you fish them in the wrong spots, you're still not going to be really successful because you're not where the fish are. Here's a couple things to think about. If you're fishing in a body of water that's got other anglers on it, especially anglers, non-musky anglers, check out where they're fishing. See if they're catching fish. If they're catching bluegills and crappies and things like that, something's in there usually munching on those. Okay? Just think about that. It's all connected. Muskies aren't isolated in some spot without them. More often than not, if there's panfish there, that is food for a muskie. And especially this time of the year, warm, shallow places that have baitfish and have panfish in them, they have muskies in them. So those would be key spots to look at. And more often than not, in my opinion, this time of the year, guys tend to fish too deep. It's not that these fish on some of these lakes aren't on some of these reefs and these weed edges and stuff, because that can change daily, especially as this water warms. We're starting to get these warming trends right now, and that can change things. But boy, I'll tell you what, a lot of bass anglers and walleye anglers by accident are tagging big muskies this time of the year because they're fishing shallow, especially the bass guys. And a lot of times they don't catch them because they can't handle them in the gear they've got. But if you're not catching muskies in your favorite spots and you're having a slow start to your season, more often than not, you're probably fishing too big of lures. You might be fishing too fast. But
I was just going to ask, what about speed?
Speed, as this water gets warmer now, that's going to change. Mm-hmm. When the opener first started, it was cold. But now as we get warmer, the water's warmed a lot, and we're starting to crack 70 degrees in some of our lakes here now. And weed growth is starting to, the days are getting longer. All these things are working in your favor to get more speed on your bait. The biggest thing, though, is make sure you're connected with something that looks fishy. Good weed growth. If you're seeing minnows and stuff like that in those weeds, keep your eyes, here's another thing, don't always keep your eyes glued to your electronics. Those of you who follow me on YouTube and on my articles and on my vlogs and stuff, that's one of the big things I've been trying to pitch to you guys. I have fished the entire spring so far without electronics, just to prove it can be done. Okay? That's the way we had to do it years ago. How do you think I started my guide career? We didn't have all these sophisticated electronics. What did we rely on? We relied on our eyes. So that really comes into play on situations like this. When you're up in the spot and you're fishing, look at your electronics and work your boat and all this, but also look in the water. Look in the water. Look around you. Is there a loon feeding nearby? Loons feeding nearby? Sure. Positive. Big thing. In fact, I've got a YouTube video we shot a couple of years ago with the dude. Mm-hmm. Find a loon, find a fish, find a muskie.
I remember that.
Yes. So that works too. Loons, mergansers. You see mergansers in the shallows. Mergansers are fish-eating ducks, are minnow-eating ducks. You see mergansers, herons in the shallows. Those are all positive signs. Gulls feeding in spots. Those are positive signs. Last night, right before we caught the muskie we caught, we saw an eagle fly over a spot, and all of a sudden it was a shallow spot, and all of a sudden you could see the baitfish like get spooked by the shadow of the eagle flying over, and it went.
Neat.
Baitfish.
Sure. Okay.
You're where the baitfish are. We had new weed growth, fishing a small spinner. The dude. The dude got that fish last night, but they say you gotta let these young guys catch one once in a while, right?
When you say the dude, you're referring to Chaz.
Chaz Martin. There's only one dude. Yeah. That's right. So that would be my simple but deadly advice for catching these muskies this time of the year is go shallow, small on the lures, okay, and keep things really simple. But keep your eyes, above and beyond that, keep your eyes peeled for visible signs of baitfish and activity. Because and watch the other anglers. Watch the other anglers, the non-musky anglers around you. If they're cracking crappies and bluegills and stuff like that, you're close. They may not be right there with those panfish, but they're close by, waiting for that opportunity to munch on one of those panfish, baitfish species. And that's a simple approach, but it tagged 2 fish for us yesterday. I'm expecting when I go out with the dude and the muskie guru, Tyler Andrews, this afternoon, that we'll be successful doing pretty much the same thing that I'm talking about right here.
Outstanding.